Bible Study Genesis 1:1-31. The book of Genesis is the first book of the Bible and is considered fundamental for understanding the foundations of the Judeo-Christian faith. Chapter 1 presents the creation of the universe and life on earth, revealing the power and majesty of God as the creator of all things. Verses 1-5, the beginning of creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the face of the deep, but the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. In these opening verses, we are introduced to God's creative power. He acts upon the chaos, bringing light and order to the universe. Light is separated from darkness, and the concept of day and night is established. God brings into existence physical light, but also spiritual light that brings understanding and discernment. Verses 6-13, the creation of the firmament, earth, and vegetation. 6. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament and separated the waters that were under the firmament from the waters that were above the firmament. And it was so. God called the firmament heaven. And there was evening and there was morning, the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear," and it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind, on the earth," and it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the third day. In these verses we see God separating the waters to create the firmament, or sky. He also makes the distinction between the waters and dry land, creating the oceans and continents. God then commands the earth to bring forth vegetation, demonstrating his generosity and provision for life. Verses 14-19, the creation of the sun, moon, and stars. 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day. In these verses, God creates the sun, moon, and stars to govern the day and night, and to establish cycles of time on earth. These celestial bodies are not worshipped as gods, but are seen as works of God's creation, destined to serve humanity. Verses 20-25, the creation of living creatures. 20. And God said, "Let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth, across the expanse of the heavens." So God created the great sea creatures, and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm, according to their kinds, and every winged bird, according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." And there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures, according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds," and it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth, according to their kinds, and the livestock according to their kinds, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. In these verses, we see God creating all forms of aquatic and airborne life, as well as terrestrial animals. He blesses them with the ability to multiply and fill their respective habitats, demonstrating his concern for the diversity and abundance of life. Verses 26 to 31, the creation of man and woman. 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." Bible study Genesis 2:1-25. Verses 1 to 3, the rest of God. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God finished his work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. After completing the creation of the universe and the earth, God rests on the seventh day. He does not rest because he is tired, but as an example for humanity, showing the importance of rest and the sanctification of the Sabbath. Verses 4 to 7, details of the creation of man. 4. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. When no bush of the field was yet in the land, and no small plant of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the land, and there was no man to work the ground. And a mist was going up from the land, and was watering the whole face of the ground. Then the Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living creature. In these verses we see specific details about the creation of man. God forms man from the dust of the earth and gives him life by breathing into his nostrils the breath of life. This shows the intimate connection between man and the Creator, as well as the divine origin of human life. Verses 8 to 14, the Garden of Eden. 8. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden, in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground the Lord God made to spring up every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life was in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. The name of the first is the Pishon. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good bdellium, and onyx stone are there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Cush. And the name of the third river is the Tigris, which flows east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. God plants a special garden in Eden for man, full of fruit-bearing trees and beautiful landscapes. This garden is a place of abundance and divine provision. The rivers that water it represent the fertility and life flowing from God to sustain all creation. Verses 15 to 17, the mandate and divine warning. 15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, "You may surely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it you shall surely die." God gives man the mandate to care for the garden, and gives him a single prohibition: not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This prohibition is not arbitrary, but an opportunity for man to exercise his obedience and trust in God. Verses 18 to 25, the creation of woman and the institution of marriage. 18. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." Now out of the ground the Lord God had formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called every living creature, that was its name. The man gave names to all livestock, and to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper fit for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man he made into a woman and brought her to the man. Then the man said, "This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man." Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed. God realizes that it is not good for man to be alone and creates woman to be his companion and helper. He brings her to man, demonstrating the unity and complementarity between man and woman. This is the establishment of marriage as a divine institution, where two individuals become one flesh, united in love and mutual commitment. This Bible study leads us to reflect on the fundamental principles of creation, the relationship between God and man, and the importance of marriage and family. These teachings continue to be relevant to our lives today, guiding us in our relationship with God and others. Thank you so much for joining us in this insightful study of the early chapters of the book of Genesis. I hope you've been enriched by reflecting on the foundational principles of creation and the importance of a relationship between God and humanity. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Until next time, may God bless you.